welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about my favorite crystals over this past month. I noticed that every day I was kind of picking up the same things and so I thought it would be interesting to go through and actually dive into the properties of the 5 stones that I feel like I've been really gravitating to this month and kind of see if there was a theme behind what I was grabbing, or if looking back over the whole picture of my month and the crystal support I was trying to bring in, if it makes like sense in hindsight. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And there are 5 crystals that I absolutely gravitated to this month, and I just found myself going for them kind of over and over again. And the first one I want to talk about is Rhodochrosite. Rhodochrosite is such a beautiful stone. Let me go grab one. So this piece is like my favorite piece ever. It's just so like the colors and it's just like beyond soothing, right? But it's also supposed to have like the energy and frequency of love. And I haven't been carrying this around. I've been wearing a bracelet. And I actually ordered these beads online and I made my own tiny little bracelet, and I've been wearing it every day and pretty much every night without fail. Like, I just always have this thing on, and because it's so small, I feel like I don't even notice I have it on, so it's really easy to sleep in and everything like that. It is supposed to have like the energy of love, and it's supposed to vibrate at the same frequency as inner peace. So always in my life, I say like peace is the most important thing to me. And one of my main mantras that I like to say over and over is, I am happy and peaceful. Those are like my 2 main things. Happy and peaceful, happy and peaceful. So it makes a lot of sense to me that I am so drawn to this stone, and I haven't had it for all that long. So because I now have a piece of jewelry, that's probably why I'm wearing it so much, because it's just very much the energy I'm always trying to bring into my life. So I feel like this will be one that I wear constantly for quite a while. It's also supposed to help you take your empathy kind of like a step further and actually stand up for those people who need it. And when I read that, oh my gosh, I thought that was so funny, because just the other day, like, I am not someone who argues with people. I don't like conflict. I mind my own business a lot of the time, but just like 2 days ago, I had to stand up for somebody else, because I'm just like observing this exchange between 2 people, and I see the one person like emotionally bullying the other person, like, I don't care how I'm making you feel, I'm still gonna do it. And I went and got like physically in between them and told her to stop. And that's so not something I would usually do, but I was just seeing the like conflict and pain that they were causing this other person, and then in my head I knew that's just the like energy they were in, and someone needed to snap them out of it, because it's not cool to go around all day and make people uncomfortable. So I felt like I had to do something. So when I read that it makes you take action for other people, I thought that was like hilarious. On that same like line though, it's also supposed to make you look at yourself first and heal what you need to heal in yourself first, so that then you're better able to help other people. And it can help you heal yourself by looking at some of your old suppressed wounds, like childhood trauma and just any kind of suppressed feelings that you have. It helps you acknowledge them, and then after you've acknowledged something, it's so much easier to release it. So it brings about all of that magicalness inside of yourself, which then brings the inner peace, right? So the whole thing makes sense, and the way that I've been drawn to this crystal totally makes sense for me. I also read on one person's kind of like theory of the stone that because you are healing all of these parts of yourself, it helps you reawaken gifts that you have kind of suppressed. Because a lot of people kind of give up their gifts or kind of lose their gifts whenever they're living in survival mode, which I think a lot of us are a lot of the time, especially right now. We're just in this like survival mode, right? So you're in this headspace of dealing with all of these things that you have to deal with, and then it's a little bit harder for you to kind of tap in spiritually and see what you can bring forth. So whenever you're healing things about yourself and coming into this place of peace, it's so much easier for your gifts to bloom and kind of like reawaken if you've been like suppressing them just because you're focusing so much on the real world that you aren't paying so much attention to what's going on internally or mentally or in the other dimensions. And the last thing that I thought was really interesting about this is it says that it immediately clears all of your middle chakras. And at first glance, I didn't think that much about it, but as I was going down these stones and kind of looking more into them and why I was being drawn to them this month, I noticed a pattern that I was kind of clearing all of my chakras with different stones, which is really interesting and is something that I wouldn't necessarily have ever caught if I didn't sit down and reflect on the crystals that I've been drawn to this month, which is why I think this is such a cool little experiment. Even though it vibrates at the frequency of the heart chakra because it's this pink color, they also say that the spectrum goes out into even the yellows. So it's really good at clearing your solar plexus chakra. So the middle chakras are being cleared by the rhodochrosite. Also, interestingly, I have been working on a painting of a piece of rhodochrosite. And yeah, I just think that's another interesting thing because it's kind of a random thing for me to be working on. So the second crystal I want to talk to you about is Angelite. And I used to have a piece of Angelite. I gave it away years ago and I still haven't gotten a new one. However, I have acquired a few bracelets, and I say a few because I couldn't stop buying them. I made a crystal haul video of all the crystals I bought this summer. I'll link it for you. And in that video, I kind of tell you the story about how I keep going back for more Angelite and really enjoying the energy of Angelite. So I dove into it a little bit more. So I do have some of these bracelets that are just pure Angelite, but then also I made this bracelet of Angelite and rose quartz, and it's been something that I'm in love with, and I wear it every day. And Angelite is supposed to clear the upper chakras, throat, third eye, crown. It's supposed to clear all of those. And because it's clearing all of those, it's supposed to give you a much more direct connection spiritually, both through like your crown chakra and being intuitive in that way, but also the third eye. When your third eye is opening, you just see everything. You're just awake. Hello. So it is used for like spiritual growth, enhanced intuition, and it helps you absorb and integrate all of those like higher dimensional feelings and energies and information. It is also said to be soothing and peaceful and uplifting. Peace, happy and peaceful, happy and peaceful. Do you see a theme here? I'm trying to bring peace into my life. It is also said to quiet the spirit. And when I read those words, quiet the spirit, it makes me want to take a deep breath and just, and I don't know how to explain that, like what quieting the spirit means. But when I hear or see the words, it makes me feel a certain type of way, if that makes any sense at all. I do feel. And then one last thing, it is supposed to enhance telepathy. And again, I noticed the pattern. It said that on a few of the crystals that I'm talking about today. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I don't want to say I try to talk to people in my head all the time, but every once in a while I'm definitely trying. And the other day I was sitting with my dog. She was on the couch and she was like facing away from me, and I looked at her and I focused and I called her in my head, and she looked at me and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So it's definitely something that's on my radar and that I do try to like exercise kind of like Matilda style, but I thought that was also interesting that I had been picking stones that are good for that. So most of the crystals I'm talking about today are ones that I've been wearing or carrying. This one is one that one day I was just like walking through the house and I'm like, oh my gosh, where's the stone? I need it, I need it, I need it. And I like beelined for my room, I grabbed it, and I don't know. Like, you know that feeling, right? When you're thinking of a crystal and you know you need it right now. And when I picked it up, this happened. The like tight grip you get on a crystal sometimes and you just don't want to put it down. And that's another way of your body telling you you need that crystal. And dude, let me tell you, it's this, I just, I can't explain the feeling enough to tell you how I'm being drawn to this, but it was just like violent and sudden. And I haven't put it back on the shelf since. I've been like carrying it around to different areas of the house and just holding on to it at night. And it's ocean jasper. Sorry, I'm just like covering it up. It's ocean jasper, and this is and ocean jasper is very soothing and comforting, so it kind of goes along those same thought patterns. And one of the main like taglines I read about it is, it brings happiness and feelings of joy by releasing negative emotions. Happiness. I am peaceful and happy. I am peaceful and happy. So it helps you release negative emotions. So maybe, I don't remember the mind state I was in the night that I was just like called in here to grab this. I don't know that I was being negative. I don't remember what I was thinking about or exactly what I was doing, but maybe that's why I needed it. Maybe there was a negative feeling just kind of like churning around inside of me that I needed to get rid of. It's also supposed to help you release negative thought patterns. So if you're stuck in a cycle of thinking the same negative thing all the time, like, oh, life is so hard. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so busy. I don't have time to do anything. That is a negative thought pattern. And the more you think things like that, the more you are making them come true. You need to think about what you do want instead of what you don't want. And that's easier said than done. So I think it's great to have a crystal around that gives you the support that you need to help stop bad patterns like that. Because when you get into a pattern of something, you get so used to it. It's so natural. You don't even realize what you're doing, and you don't realize how harmful that is to your psyche and your spirit and your whole reality, because you are the only one who is in charge of your own reality. You have control. You can control it. But first you need to learn to control yourself and your center and your emotions, and then you can create whatever you want. Welcome to my world of crazy. And another little like tagline of this is, it's a good stone if you need a lift. So it's like uplifting, happy, joyful, peaceful, all of the things, all of those things. And ocean jasper is beautiful anyways. Like, I love all the little orbicular pieces of it and things like that. But you can also get pieces with druzy inside of them, which just means that it's this like little cave of sparkling wonderfulment. And this piece has lots of little pockets of druzy, so I can just like get lost in the sparkle. I love everything sparkly and shiny, and look how beautiful it is. Oh my gosh. So sparkly. So that's my ocean jasper. Okay, so I have been wearing my Rhodochrosite a lot. I've been wearing Angelite every day. I've also been wearing my Moldavite ring again, which, if you don't know about Moldavite and my obsession with Moldavite, I will link the whole playlist for you up here because it's an entire journey of its own. But I've been wearing it again every day and I feel amazing. But I've also been wearing Jet every day, practically. When I get dressed in the mornings to go to work, I will, you know, make sure I have my jewelry on. And then sometimes I'll put stones in my pocket, but I don't every day. And I've noticed lately that even though I have these bracelets that I'm wearing every single day and sleeping with as well, when I get dressed in the mornings, I'll put my Jet on. I don't necessarily sleep with this one on, but Jet is very light, very plasticky. It's a fossilized tree resin kind of deal, so that's why it's so light. And the properties of Jet are very grounding and protective. It's been said to kind of be like an energetic filter, which, I mean, already just knowing that, I can understand why when going to work, I feel like I need an energetic filter, right? I work in retail with the public, and yeah, you need an energetic filter sometimes. It's also supposed to clear your aura of impure energies, like irrational fears or negative thought patterns, like we were talking about, things like that. It's supposed to cleanse your aura of those things. So sometimes in your aura, you're just carrying around a little bit of ick that you pick up just from life, or I don't know, something that you watched, an encounter that you had, and sometimes you just need to like clean your aura out a little bit. And Jet is supposed to just do that on its own by putting it on, which is amazing. And funnily enough, it even goes into detail saying Jet can also help you release negative thought patterns. So that is something that I'm gonna have to sit with and examine a little bit. I feel like I'm definitely someone who's very conscious, and I'm always working on things about myself. Like, I try not to get down on myself when I realize things that I need to improve or fix, but also be aware of them. Like, we're all a work in progress. But I always want to strive to be like the next best version of myself. That's my thing. I want to vibrate higher. I want to be the best possible version of me. And then I feel like when you work on yourself like that, then your whole world can become like your best possible world version. But if you right now, like who you are right now, if you were just like dropped into your dream world right now, would you be prepared? Would you be ready? Like, if everything you've ever wanted comes to you overnight tonight, do you have kind of like all your ducks in a row? Could you just step into being that person? I feel like thinking about things like that, it's important to prepare yourself. Like, you always have to be prepared for what the next step is going to be. And I think for a long time, I didn't think like that. And I think that I probably missed some opportunities in my life, but I don't want to go down that road. Anyways, I completely lost my train of thought now. But yeah, I just think it's a really smart thing to every day just take another step closer to doing something that would help you when you become that person you want to become. And that can be something as simple as cleaning out your email inbox. Like, it's just one less little annoying thing you would have to do when you've stepped into your best life. Like, when you step into that life, you want everything to be done. You don't want to have to-do lists that you could have gotten done when you're living this like boring, monotonous life. You want to be able to step into the things that you want to do. So I feel like it's very important to always be working towards that in a little way. I feel like I just completely got sidetracked on that, which means somebody needed to hear it, but let me try to figure out what I was talking about. Jet is also supposed to help you get rid of old emotional attachments that no longer serve you, and it is said in many cultures to be a stone of good luck. And the last interesting thing is it's supposed to be good for your root chakra. So I have cleared out my upper chakras with the Angelite, and I've cleared out my middle chakras with the Rhodochrosite, and now my root chakra with Jet. So I'm pretty open. Noted, I haven't actually worked on my sacral chakra with any of these stones, so noting that, I think that I probably will grab something in the next week and try to carry it around to work on that a little bit. And then I just feel brand new. And I feel like this is a great time of year to feel brand new, even if that doesn't make sense seasonally to a lot of people. So guys, on to the last crystal. As I said, when I'm getting ready for work, sometimes I will put stones in my pockets and sometimes I won't. But I have noticed that on more days than not this month, I have picked up and put in my pocket Hyperspeed. And this is one that is gorgeous and beautiful, but it's hard to get on camera. it just has all these like colors in it. Some people call it like a velvet labradorite. And let me see if I can capture this at all. I know the ring light makes it a little hard to see too, but this is a stone that I picked up randomly in a crystal shop a few years ago, and I didn't actually know very much about it, but I remember reading on the card that it was good for psychic development or psychic awareness. And I thought that sounded fascinating, even though I didn't completely understand what that meant yet. Now I understand. And I think it's a really cool stone. So the first thing that I read about it when looking into it for doing this video is that it helps create calmness and quietness in the mind. Sounds peaceful, doesn't it? Happy and peaceful. I am happy and peaceful. So that goes right along with the theme of all of these, I feel like. God, it's so beautiful. I'm gonna have to like insert a little clip for you. I'll try to get like a really good eye on it so you can see the beauty. It is also supposed to ground us, to shield us from hectic stimuli. So it's like all this craziness is going on in the world and it grounds us to shield us from that. Because like I've said, it's so easy to get caught up in everything that's going on around you, and if you're not grounded and centered. And once you learn to ground and center yourself, it's so much easier to kind of keep all of the other stuff at bay. And this is a great tool that can help you do that. It's also supposed to help you find solutions to problems pretty quickly. Like I said, it boosts psychic gifts and intuition. And it's also supposed to be great for meditation. It's supposed to activate the third eye chakra, which makes so much sense on how it helps you enhance your psychic abilities. Your third eye is kind of a wonderful gateway to all of that. But I've also read that it doesn't just work. Like, you need to communicate with it. Tell it your intentions and how you want it to help you in your life. And that's how it can kind of start directing you a little bit. And in directing you, it can direct your thoughts to find solutions, which goes into, it helps you find solutions to problems. But you have to ask for the help, which I have carried this around a lot, but I've never done that before. So now I am excited and slightly skeptical. I know that seems weird coming from me, but I don't know. I don't feel the pull to program my crystals very often. I know a lot of people do that with all of their crystals, and I don't want to go around thinking that I'm smarter than the crystals. Like, they have all this like real raw energy from the cosmos or God or Mother Nature, like whatever it is you believe in. They definitely have all this power, and I just feel like, who am I to tell them what to do? Like, I can tell them how I need assistance maybe, and I guess that's what you're doing with this, but that's my outlook on programming crystals. Maybe I'll change my mind about it someday, but at the moment, that's how I feel about that. So those are my 5 crystals that I found myself drawn to kind of over and over this month. And now that I've done the overview of the energies and properties, I definitely understand why. And I definitely see a theme for September. Like, I was trying to be calm and happy, and I think it's now time to set intentions for the rest of the year. I'm not sure when I'm going to post this, but today is October 1st. And I heard someone say at the beginning of the year, and I think I've told you this before, that 2020 was going to be broken into 4 chapters. I am getting the tingles while I'm saying this, which is why I really believe it to be true. It really resonates with me. That 2020 is 4 chapters long. And being October 1st, that means we are entering the 4th and final chapter of the year. I have a lot of like flutters thinking about this. I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the year, but I feel very positive. Maybe naively so. Maybe I'm just sticking my head in the sand, but I feel very positive about this last chapter of the year, and I'm excited about it. And it's also a full moon at the beginning and the end of the month. Like, everything about this just feels super magical and meant to be, and it's happening in 2020. And there's just something about this month slash this next chapter that I don't think it's going to be boring. Let me put it that way. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I'm choosing to think it's going to be good, but it's definitely not going to be boring. And there's something to be said for that, because I don't like being bored. Not that I'm wishing for anything bad to happen. Anyways, those are my crystals for the month. I would love to know down below if you have been wearing or using certain crystals this month more than others, and if you've ever thought about like the patterns behind that and the reasons behind that. I think it's really interesting to dive into, and if you guys enjoy this, I might start doing this every month. So that is it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. I'll see you all next time.